Rome was the world's superpower for over 400 years, dominated 3 continents. Its military was unbeatable. Its economy was unstoppable. Then one decision destroyed everything, and we're making that exact same mistake in 2025. In 270 AD, Emperor Aurelian faced a crisis. The empire was at war on multiple fronts. Wars with Germanic tribes in the north, wars with Persian armies in the east, wars everywhere. Soldiers needed to be paid. Generals needed to be paid. Equipment needed to be built and maintained. The government was bleeding money. The treasury was depleted. Aurelian had 3 options. He could raise taxes, but the empire was already overtaxed. Citizens would rebel. Revolutionary movements would destabilize the state. He could cut military spending, but that would leave the empire vulnerable to invasion from multiple enemies. Enemies would see weakness and attack. The third option was to print money. He chose to print money. Roman coins were made of silver. A denarius was a coin with specific silver content. That silver content determined its value. For centuries, this system worked because the value was real. The silver was real. But Aurelian ordered the mints to reduce silver content from 50% down to just 5%. The coin looked the same. It weighed almost the same. But the actual silver inside was decimated. Now the government could mint 10 times more coins with the same silver, 10 times more money to pay soldiers and maintain the empire. For a few months it worked. The government had more money. Soldiers were paid. The empire continued. But here's what Aurelian didn't understand, or maybe he did, but didn't care. The Romans were not stupid. They figured it out. Merchants noticed the coins were worthless. If you tried to trade 5 new denarii for goods that used to cost 5 old denarii, merchants would laugh. They demanded more new coins because they knew the silver content was lower. The market adjusted instantly. Trust was lost. Prices skyrocketed almost overnight. A loaf of bread that cost 1 denarius now cost 5. A chicken that cost 2 denarii now cost 8. Food prices tripled, then quadrupled. Savings accumulated over a lifetime were cut in half in months. People who had worked 50 years and saved their money suddenly had half its value. The middle class was devastated. Merchants stopped selling because they didn't trust the currency. Prices became unpredictable. Businesses couldn't operate. Farmers didn't want to trade their crops for worthless coins. Workers didn't trust their wages. The entire economy began to malfunction. By 280 AD, just 10 years later, the empire had multiple competing currencies. Local coins were issued, foreign coins were used. Different regions used different money. Nobody trusted the main currency anymore. The government tried everything to fix it. They tried raising interest rates to remove money from circulation. Didn't work. They tried implementing price controls. Merchants just stopped selling. They tried going back to harder currency. Too late, The damage was done by 476 AD. Over 200 years later, the currency was so worthless that people went back to bartering. Actual bartering, trading goods directly, no money at all. That's how bad it got. An entire civilization that had invented sophisticated banking systems, taxation systems, trade routes, went back to bartering because the currency became worthless. Now jump to 2025, over 1700 years later. The United States is the global superpower. It has military bases in over 150 countries. Every country in the world holds dollars. Every country needs dollars to trade. Oil is priced in dollars. Gold is priced in dollars. International trade happens in dollars. This status gives America unlimited economic power. But here's what's happening right now. In the last 5 years, the US printed more money than it did in the previous 200 years combined. The Federal Reserve expanded the money supply by trillions of dollars. This happened for various reasons: pandemic stimulus, bank bailouts, infrastructure spending, quantitative easing. The reasons don't matter. The result is the same: trillions of new dollars in circulation. More money means each dollar is worth less. In 2019, gas cost $2.50 per gallon. The purchasing power of the dollar dropped 35% since 2019. That means your dollar is worth only 65 cents compared to what it was worth 6 years ago. If you had $100,000 in savings in 2019, it would have the purchasing power of only $65,000 today. Your savings lost $35,000 in value without you spending a cent. Your salary is worth less. Your savings are worth less. Everything is worth less. The government knows this is happening. They're watching it happen in real time. So they raised interest rates to fight inflation. The idea is that higher rates make borrowing more expensive, which reduces spending, which reduces demand, which reduces prices. But higher rates have consequences. They crash the economy, people lose jobs, businesses fail, unemployment rises, real estate prices crash, stock markets crash. Pensions become underfunded, people's retirement savings evaporate. So the government faces a dilemma: keep rates high and crash the economy, destroying millions of jobs, or lower rates and let inflation run wild, destroying savings and purchasing power. Either way, people suffer. This is the exact same dilemma Rome faced 1700 years ago. And governments always make the same choice. They print more money. They try to inflate their way out of the problem. They make the same mistake over and over throughout history. Here's what this means for you right now. If you have cash in the bank, its value is being destroyed by inflation. Your salary is being destroyed by inflation. Your savings are being destroyed. If you think you're building wealth by saving dollars, you're wrong. You're slowly getting poorer year after year. The wealthy understand this system intimately. That's why they don't hold dollars. They own assets: real estate, stocks, gold, crypto. During inflation, these assets go up in value. The wealthy get richer. You get poorer. This isn't luck. This is by design. So what can you do? First, understand the system. Really understand it. Don't just accept what you're told. Look at the data. Second, protect yourself. Stop holding excess cash. Move your money into assets. Real estate if you can afford it. Stocks through an index fund. Gold, silver. Anything that preserves value during inflation. Third, tell others. Most people don't understand why they're getting poorer. They think it's their fault. They don't realize the system is rigged. History doesn't repeat, but it definitely rhymes. Rome thought they could print their way out of their problems. They couldn't. The currency collapsed. The empire fell. America thinks the same thing right now. They'll make the same discovery that Rome made, and they'll make it too late to fix. The question is, will you be ready when it happens? Will you have moved your money into assets? Will you have prepared, or will you be caught off guard like most people, watching your life savings evaporate, wondering what went wrong? Save this video, share it with someone you care about. Because what happened to Rome is happening again right now. The pattern is ancient. The lesson is timeless. And the clock is ticking.